It's been a tale of 2 seasons for Jake Peavy. A rough start brought up questions about his spot in the rotation. But by the end of May, the 35-year-old veteran was able to turn things around. Since then, he's been racking up the wins and showing all the fire and emotion that Giants fans have come to know and love. Peavy gets the ball. Game 2 of the series against the D-backs. Next. The sun is shining at 24 Willie Mays Plaza, the beautiful home of the Giants, and everybody's heading in. It's game 2 of the series, the D-backs and the Giants. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller with Mike Krukow. Dave Fleming will be along in the middle innings. Dwayne Kuiper is on assignment. And for the Giants, a big victory last night, coming from behind after a rough beginning for Jeff Samardzija. And there was also there were some bad feelings at one point. Bruce Bochy got ejected. Chip Hale, the Arizona manager, he got tossed. The Giants won the ball game 6-2. And now Peavy today against this Arizona ball club that traded its closer after the game last night. Such are the trials and travails of this Arizona ball club. And a lot of that has been turned in by the Giants here lately. The Giants, in fact, have been very good against everybody in this Western Division.
Well, 29-14 against the National League West. I mean, that's dominance. And for the Giants, they just keep taking one day at a time, one game at a time, and their strength has been their starting pitching. No exception today when Jake Peavy takes the ball from Bruce Bochy, and it really has been a tale of 2 different seasons for Peavy. The first half of the year, not very good. These last 8 starts, he's been very, very good. One of the best performers in all the National League West. He will give them a chance to win today.
All right, so the Giants will have 4 players heading to the All-Star game, including Brandon Belt. He got voted in. It was announced yesterday. Yes, there are some baby Giraffe fans headed into the ballpark, as always. First pitch coming up, and the lineups after this. San Francisco Bay, as you can see, and we've got a mini armada out there in the Cove. Here's the game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 65 degrees, At game time under bright blue skies, 12 miles per hour. Out of the west is the wind and the humidity. It's a humid day, 77%. Rather surprisingly. Forecast partly cloudy, but not so far, not here. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, the batting order, it'll be Gene Segura, second base, Michael Bourne in center field, Paul Goldschmidt, the all-star slugger, first base, Jake Lamb having a fabulous year, and he is second in both home runs and RBIs since the end of May in the National League. Yasmani Tomas in right, Brandon Drury left field, Tuffy Gozawish the catcher, Nick Ahmed the shortstop, and Robbie Ray the pitcher bats ninth.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Jake Peavy, and Peavy, 6 foot 180 pound 35-year-old in his 15th year at the big league level. Last 17 starts, 5-7, 5.14 ERA. That does not tell the whole story.
And the first pitch is in there for a called strike to Gene Segura. And as the game begins, the famous Potomac has sailed into McCovey Cove. Always great to see the former presidential yacht, an historic vessel. It was the presidential yacht of Franklin Delano Roosevelt in the 30s and 40s. There's a foul out of play. And there it is, the Potomac. President Roosevelt at that time would go out on that in the Potomac River, sometimes in the Hudson, and once brought the King and Queen of England with him aboard for an overnight up to Hyde Park, New York, where the family home was located. And reportedly the King and Queen didn't think it was that great.
Well, I think it's pretty cool.
For we who are not royalty, we love it. But that's all for Segura. One away.
Defensively, the Giants are going to set it up this way behind Peavy. It'll be Pagan, Span, and Williamson. Williamson, the best arm in the outfield. Crawford, Tejada on the left side. Green and Bell on the right side. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs. The whole story about Peavy is his first 9 starts, he was 1-5 with an 8.21 ERA. His last 8 starts, he's 4-2 with a 2.45 ERA. He's really turned himself around. He's throwing great baseball. Lifetime against these D-backs, 17-13.
A foul ball off the bat of Michael Bourne. Strike one. Jake Peavy, 35 years old, and he's on a roll right now. That's a called strike 2. The umpiring alignment, Mark Carlson behind the plate, Mike DeMuro first base, crew chief Brian Gorman at second, and Quinn Wolcott is at third. One of the young up-and-coming umpires, and everybody was very impressed with the job he did last night, Mike, behind the plate. Balls and strikes.
That was a good steady zone.
1-2 to count to Bourne.
All right, time now for our Nissan keys to the game. Number 1, you got to feel the Bourne. That's right. The matchup between Peavy and Bourne is going to be essential. He's hitting .417 lifetime against them. And number 2, offense. Look, fastball. Robbie Ray, the pitcher for the D-backs, likes to throw that fastball, so lock in on the fastball, and those are our Nissan keys to the game.
There's Goldschmidt, Arizona's outstanding slugger. Little tapper that goes foul.
Good strike zone today with Mark Carlson if you're a pitcher. It's not a zone with big corners, but you will see knee-high strikes. You will see some belt-high strikes. It's a good zone to throw to. And those are the numbers that Bourne has had against Peavy. 5 for 12 with a home run.
Left field, and that's going to get in there. Base hit. So he gets another notch in his belt against Jake Peavy. So he's aboard for Goldschmidt.
Yeah, and that speed of the base pass too. Disruptive speed.
Goldschmidt had 2 singles last night, and most teams, they take that. If they can hold Goldschmidt to just 2 singles, keep him in the yard, not knock in anybody, that's a good night. 0-1.
Well, he's hot, and when he's hot, the point you make about keeping him in the yard, man, that's not that easy to do. He plays in a live ballpark in Arizona, but you can't take away that from his power. I mean, he could hit the ball out of this ballpark from foul line to foul line. He's got that type of clout.
And the Giants have seen him do that in this ballpark many, many times. High in the air, foul off the first base side. 0-2. In this ballpark, look at his numbers here. It's sort of counterintuitive. In Arizona, which is a great place to hit, the Giants have done well against him. Not so well here.
Those numbers do not make sense, given as to how live Chase Field is in Arizona, his home field.
And that'll be out of play off the right field side. 0-2. There is Lamb on deck.
Let's take a look at the talent in the stands today. I got it.
I got it.
One picture's worth 1,000 words.
What a deal.
She is fried. All right, I got it. I got this one. That's right up there, top 3 ever. I told you we should have brought the glove.
That is deep down the right field line. Slicing foul.
Oh, man.
Well, she did better with her cardboard tray of food than he did with the glove out there. Oh, let me get that for you.
I love this ball.
I feel bad for him.
That's all right.
Should we see if we can send her some little care package?
Yeah, like at least some garlic fries or something. Oh, man. It's all downhill from here, buddy.
Well, the world according to Garp.
Yeah.
I want the seat she's in. Like the worst thing that could ever happen in that seat, it's already happened.
Oh, man. Just sat down for lunch.
A little bite to eat, enjoy the game. There goes Bourne. And that one is gloved. And Green, wow. Green had, if only he had known, he had Bourne 10 feet around the bag at second. But tried to get Goldschmidt, and Goldschmidt just too quick.
Well, with the runner going, watch Green come over. It's his job to cover the bag. Now he's got to come. He never sees Bourne at second base. His concentration is to first. Really a nice play to stop this ball going in the outfield. With Bourne's speed, that's an easy first and third. Just too much speed from Goldschmidt to get it out of first, but nevertheless, you get to see it all. And our X Moments brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
Well, Bourne was apparently shocked that Green was able to react to that one and keep it on the infield. He was well on his way to third. Jake Lamb, and that's a strike. Well, Bourne took off. You talk about disruptive speed, and I don't know if that fit under that heading, but it got a base hit for Goldschmidt. It could have been a double play if he had not been running. Jake Lamb having a monster first half. And that's a foul ball. Lamb, who leads all National League hitters in slugging percentage by far, 621. Cespedes of the Mets is next at 583. Only David Ortiz of the Red Sox has a higher slugging percentage in all of Major League Baseball than does Jake Lamb. Before the All-Star break, 20 homers, 19 doubles, 7 triples. He's been a force. And that is high and foul and out of play.
All right, the hot zone, the red zone is above major league average, and he really likes the ball middle in, above the thigh, down and away. Down and away is really the area that jumps off the page. You're always taught to throw guys down and away. Well, he covers down and away.
Back to the screen again, still 0-2.
I don't think he was sitting on a fastball. His lower body was not timed to the fastball. That was 90-mile-an-hour two-seam movement on the outside corner. And he just flicked at it with his hands. I think he was sitting on something soft. Looking change up, looking curveball.
Peavy's had pretty good success against Lamb in the past. A threat here for the D-backs. 2 men on, 1 man out. No balls, 2 strikes to the dangerous Jake Lamb. Buster Posey drops aside. The shortstop Crawford is playing right near second base, keeping Bourne close. Peavy checks the runner. High in the air to shallow left. Crawford out. Out number 2. And the infield fly rule was in effect at the last. Once they thought Crawford was under it, they signaled the infield fly rule, so Lamb was immediately out, whether Crawford caught that ball or not, as soon as they made the call. Posey out to chat with Peavy. Big out there for a guy who's just having a fantastic first half. And he has done a lot of damage against the Giants both this year and last. Young Jake Lamb. And here is Yasmani Tomas, another dangerous hitter. He's got 13 home runs here before the All-Star break.
Very aggressive. Loves that first pitch.
Bourne at second, Goldschmidt at first. 2 down. Well, he chased it. 0-1. No score. D-backs with an early threat. Bourne singled to left, and then Goldschmidt got the infield single with Bourne running. But 2 down now. 1-1 the count.
Tomas is right up on top of the plate. The Peavy has got a good two-seam fastball. The movement runs into the right-handed hitter. Down and in is a good pitch to this guy.
And he lays off again. 2-1.
It's 3 pitches away. 3 breaking balls off the plate.
Two and 1 the count. To Crawford. Green with the put out. Goldschmidt is forced, and that is the inning. I got it. I got it. I got it. Oh! Oh my Lord.
I love it.
is brought to you by Jack in the Box. It's back. The Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack. Taste it before it's gone at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
Here at AT&T Park, D-backs nothing. The Giants coming up. Let's take a look at the Giants batting order. Denard Span, center field. Angel Pagan in left field. Brandon Belt at first base. And Buster Posey, the catcher, hitting fourth. Brandon Crawford at shortstop. He's had 16 RBIs in just the last 13 days. Second most in the league. Mac Williamson in right. Grant Green at second. Ruben Tejada at third, and Peavy the pitcher up against the left-hander Robbie Ray. And here we go. 0-1.
With Robbie Ray, you're going to see a lot of fastballs, and they're good fastballs. He'll go mid to high 90s with his velocity. He's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup, and he'll throw all his pitches. 6'2", 195-pounder. Ray in his second year at the big league level, out of Brentwood, Tennessee. But he really does think off the fastball. He's got a natural cut from a high three-quarter release, and it is a movement that will get in on righties, keep it away from lefties. He'll use that side of the plate for the most part today, but he thinks fastball. You're going to see it.
1-2. He's had 108 strikeouts in 92 and a third innings pitched, and he has the best strikeout per 9 inning ratio of any starter in the National League.
1-0 lifetime, but with a good ERA in 17 innings, 3.18 against the Giants. Take a look at the actual numbers of what he's done this year in 17 starts, 108 strikeouts and 92 and a third. That tells you he's got great stuff, and that's against 37 walks. So he's got good command. 4.78 ERA and a 4.7 record.
And he fought that one off. Breaking ball, back out of play, well back into the lower deck. Span making him wait. Now he's just back in there, as you saw Pagan in the on deck circle. Off the inside. Full count now.
When you watch the payoff pitch, when he has to throw something across the strike zone, you always watch what he chooses to throw. And that's something that is kept in the dugout. It's talked about amongst the players. And you'll see what he throws a lot right here in the 3-2 count. Fastball. And it's just something that he does time and time and time again. 1-0 counts, 2-0 counts, 3-1 counts. Very predictable to that speed. And you think, well, gee, the guys must tee off on him. Well, it just tells you how good his fastball is. That you can look for it, expect it, and still not do a whole lot with it.
This is the 8th pitch from Ray to Span. Strike 3 call. Look, he took something off that one. 89 miles an hour.
Let's take a look at the defense that the Diamondbacks will employ today. You'll see Drury, Bourne, and Tomas. That's your outfield with the best arm in right field. Ahmed and Lamb on the left side. Segura and Goldschmidt on the right side of the infield. Tuffy Gozawish, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs.
Angel Pagan now. Giants beat Ray in Arizona, or he didn't personally get charged with the loss. The game ultimately went extra innings. 0-1 the count to Pagan, hitting .284. Ray went 6 innings in that game. Gave up 4 runs and 8 hits, and he had 8 strikeouts in those 6 innings. And it's 1-1. The Giants. Here's that final pitch now to Span.
3-2. Like a BP fastball. Is 89 miles per hour. Like a little cut rotation on it, perhaps. Beautiful location.
1-1 to Pagan. He muscles one into the outfield for a base hit. And Brandon Belt will come up. Get a look at the crowd. People still coming in, finding their seats as Belt comes to the plate. Belt walked 4 times last night. The most walks he's ever had in a big league game. His on base percentage is at .404 as the day begins. 3 infielders move to the right side of second against him. And it's 0-1. With nobody at third base, they're almost inviting him to go ahead and bunt to third base if he likes. Nobody there. Buster Posey on deck. Lefty versus lefty. And quickly 0-2 to Bell. A couple of breaking balls, and he's swung at both of them. Belt had a 2-run double against Ray in Arizona in the 4th inning 6 days ago. That ball blocked in the dirt by Gozuish, who's a pretty good ball blocker.
Yeah, he's a good receiver. He is a good ball blocker.
Ray actually never got bailed out in Arizona the other day.
Watch the glove flip over. You block up that hole between your legs. You let your chest protector become the mitt. And this is slightly bend at the waist to let that ball hit and have an angle to drop in front. Everything is textbook perfect on that play. Good job.
Just foul. Oh, smoked that breaking ball. 1-2.
Mark Madden, our ball dude, almost made a play.
Now that's a little glove.
Yeah, if you'd had a bigger glove, you'd have made that play.
He must have been a second baseman in maybe the 1920s.
Yeah. Yeah, he's over 100 years old.
Or maybe that was his second baseman glove when he was 8. 2-2 now. The Belt, he's really giving him a steady diet of breaking stuff here.
Cuts and sliders, cuts and sliders. How about this guy, huh? Does he look good in that hat or what? Going, Dad. Could be his first game.
Pagan back to the bag at first. What a day here in the city by the bay. A lot going on out on the bay itself. A lot of sailboats out there. I think there's some regattas going on out on the bay today. 2-2 the count. Steps off the slab, looks. Pagan back. Bill Hayes, the Giants' first base coach, keeping an eye on things over there. 2-2 to Brandon Belt. He struck him out.
95-mile-an-hour blazer right across the letters. Take a look. It's just nice extension through the chest with the fastball. And it's one that gets on you quick too. I always thought the high 3/4 release is a deceptive release from a lefty, and he's got it.
Buster Posey. Ball 1. Buster was on base 3 times last night, scored 2 runs, and with all of that he only had 1 to hit. .362 on base average for Buster Posey. His OPS is up, closing in on .850, which is pretty good. Another off-speed pitch, 2-0. No score. We're in the first inning. The Dodgers play a little bit later. A 4:15 start at Dodger Stadium, with Brandon McCarthy facing Luis Perdomo of the Padres down there. Giants have a 6.5 game lead over LA in the National League West. Back out of play. 2-1.
Guy made a nice play, and club level just below us to the right. Brought his glove. Player. Didn't spill a drop.
It looks like it's going to be out on Twitter and maybe Facebook real soon.
Oh yeah.
Instagram. 2-1. I wonder if anybody got a shot of the woman and the catch that she made down in the right field line in the first half of this inning.
I'm thinking right now, she's the most famous woman in America.
I think she's receiving a lot of feedback from everybody she knows. 3-1 the count to Buster, and he gets a walk. That one was not close. So Pagan will go to second, and Crawford will come up. Greater coverage of baseball is brought to you by T-Mobile. Last night, bottom of the second, in close, looked like they were trying to hit him. Then behind him, Patrick Corbin. A warning was issued. Buster and Bruce Bochy came out to Quinn Wolcott saying, wait a minute, how come he didn't eject him? Then Brandon Crawford, who said, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was unhappy with that. I wanted to do something big. I wanted to do some damage, and he did, hitting a 2-run homer to tie the game.
Well, that's the at-bat that everybody dreams of having. And he was not happy that they were throwing at Buster twice, nor was anybody else in that Giants dugout.
On 1. Well, when the game today, I asked Bruce Bochy about it. Sometimes guys want to do a lot of damage, and that kind of works against them. They get a little over anxious, overswing, this and that. And he said, no, that's why what's special about Brandon Crawford. He's able to do it in a controlled way. And he said his ability to do that kind of thing is why he gives them a go-ahead often on 3-0. Some guys are not good if you tell them to go ahead, swing if you like it on 3-0. But Crawford has done some damage on 3-0 this year.
I think guys overthink a 3-0.
Spin move, and Pagan back on the bag.
I think your strongest hitters mentally are better equipped to deal with a 3-0 challenge than a hitter who's not strong mentally.
Crawford, the Giants' RBI leader, 58 runs batted in, 9 home runs. And he chased high fastball up out of the strike zone.
Well, Giants not happy about the 2 pitches thrown at Posey. The D-backs not happy about the fastball that hit Gene Segura. So, I mean, both teams got it off their chest. I don't expect there to be anything carry over into today's ballgame.
1-2 the count to Crawford. 2 men on. 2-2. And Ray has really had to extend in this inning. That was his 26th pitch of the inning. So his very first inning is a stressful inning. And it's still going on. Pagan at second, Posey at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Crawford 9th in the National League in runs batted in. It's a pop-up foul. Gozawish comes back, and it's over the screen, just barely. Two the count. Mac Williamson is on deck. Gozawish just recently brought back. In fact, when the Giants were in Arizona last weekend, is when they brought him back to the minor leagues. For the first time, he really was tearing it up at the bat.
Yeah, I think his minor league time is just about over. He's a good little player. Do a lot of things for you, and he can do other things besides catch.
That one is strike 3. but he is thrown out at first by Gozawish. So the inning is over. 3 strikeouts in the first inning for Ray. No score as we go to the second.
Is brought to you by AAA. Get a free road trip day pack with a AAA insurance quote. Go to AAA.com/road trip or a AAA branch for details. Restrictions apply.
Diamondbacks nothing, Giants nothing as we start the second inning. Both pitchers had to work their way out of a jam in the first inning, and both pitchers threw a lot of pitches. Peavy had a 26 pitch first inning. Brandon Drury leads off, rookie right-handed hitter, and Peavy drops it in over the outside for a strike, and it's 0-1. Drury has 9 home runs in his rookie season, and that's off the inside. He's another guy who is versatile because he can play around the outfield, he can play first base, he can play third base. On the outside corner, strike 2. Were you surprised when we left the ballpark last night to learn that Arizona made a late night trade? They sent their closer, Brad Ziegler, to the Boston Red Sox after the last night's loss.
You know, I was surprised, but you know, it totally makes sense.
Broken bat, and one away as Tejada made the play. Brad Ziegler, you see his numbers, and the D-backs get a couple of prospects, a pitcher, Jose Almonte, and Luis Basabe, who is an infielder, who has a twin brother, an identical twin brother. And Dave Stewart, the general manager, you saw Tony La Russa, who is here, is in charge of the baseball operations. That is just foul by Gozawish, and it's 0-1. There's Stu, and Dave Stewart said that the whole thing just kind of came out of the blue a couple of days before, so wasn't something that they'd been working on a long time with the Red Sox.
Well, I think in the minds of the D-backs, they had to come into this series and win all 3. I think that's what they kind of felt the importance of these 3 games were in their overall season. And when it didn't happen last night, I think that was perhaps a motivating factor in pulling the trigger and sending Ziegler to Boston.
Things have definitely not gone as the D-backs had planned or hoped. They really did a big job in trying to fortify themselves to be a contender right now. And even this weekend, they come in a little bit shorthanded because their ace is missing Zach Greinke, who's had a great history of success against the Giants. And he would have been up in this series for sure. But he's on the disabled list going into the All-Star break. So Greinke himself got off to a slow start, although he's been red hot leading up to the time that he went on the DL.
He's pitched like an all-star.
That's a pop-up foul and back out of play. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's some oddities, the fact that they've just not been able to win at home. And there are very few teams that look like contenders to start a season who've had as bad a record at home leading into the All-Star break that I've ever seen as the Diamondbacks.
Their record at home is unexplainable. 15-32 at Chase Field.
He struck him out. Not a cut on that one. And there are 2 men gone. Today is the second day of the Junior Giants Stretch Drive, inspired by Hall of Famer Willie McCovey. The Stretch Drive is a fundraising campaign designed to raise awareness and funds for the Junior Giants program. There are many ways you can pitch in. You can donate to the $50 stretch level, and you'll give one child a chance to play baseball for a season. If you donate at the $440 level, you'll support a full team for a season. So please consider it. Check out all of the donation levels and thank you gifts that are available at jrgiants.org. Ahmed over to left center is Span. And that's a quick inning for Jake Peavy. He needed one. 10 pitches and out. Mac Williamson coming up for the Giants. Park, last of the second.
Well, one of the best plays we've seen in a long time. This woman says, I have it. And the foul ball just completely goes crazy. And then later on, she saw on the internet her reaction. And this is what she said.
Well, we were missing the part where the woman next to her, just to the left with her sunglasses on her head, showed her cell phone with the video of the play. And that was priceless, seeing her reaction to that, seeing that it was on TV. And she was kind of astonished that that's what happened. Oh, my God.
And that's exactly what she said.
Mac Williamson, 1 ball, 1 strike to count to him.
Here's her reaction. Oh my gosh. Gamer babes, you gotta love them. You just have to love them.
2-1 to Mac. Hitting .212, 3 home runs and 66 at bats in the big leagues this year. .297 on base average. Big and strong. He had a 2-run single against Ray last weekend in Arizona. And the count in his favor now. 3 balls, 1 strike. He knocked in the Giants' first runs in that game last Sunday against Ray. A mighty cut, and the earth shook.
Well, you have 3-1 leverage. That's how you should let it go. Don't be trying to hit singles to right field.
3-2. And he gets the walk. Let's check in with our good friend, Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, an update on Joe Panik. I got some time with him before today's game, and he told me that today is his best day yet since going on that DL with a concussion. He took some grounders. He's also hitting off a tee, and gentlemen, he's also hitting some front toss. He will remain in San Francisco during the All-Star break to continue working and hopefully progress and then be on a rehab as soon as late next week. Gentlemen?
Well, we hope he's able to do it. With the concussion, it's not exactly the same as it is with, say, let's say you have a pulled muscle or you sprain an ankle or whatever. You rest it, it starts getting better, and you can almost put a time on it. Well, they should be able to get back by sunset. The concussion is a little more iffy. When are all the symptoms going to disappear? Well, who knows?
The gray matter gray area. And, an injury to your head it's got its own time schedule, and we don't know.
Grant Green, the hitter. Green, this is his 8th game for the Giants. He's hitting .286. He's had 3 runs batted in. .333 on base percentage. And that's too high. 3-0.
Well, one thing, Bobby Ray has not gotten out a right-handed hitter. The lefties are the guys he's getting the outs with. He hadn't gotten out a right-handed hitter, and I think Mike Butcher, the pitching coach who leads the leagues in mound visits, is going to come out and talk about this. And I think he has an idea as to how he wants him to go about getting these right-handers out, making an adjustment with what he's seeing from the side.
Ray, right-handed hitters have a .294 batting average against him this year. And left-handed hitters before today were hitting .247 with only 1 home run against him. And today the Giants have 3 lefties in the lineup. He struck all 3 of them out in the first inning. And the right-handed hitters have had a single by Pagan, a walk to Posey, and a walk to Williamson, and now he's 3-0 to the right-handed hitting Green. Runner at first, nobody out, no score. 3-1.
Taken all the way, as well you should. Most pitches per inning this season, Ubaldo Jimenez averages 19 pitches an inning. Robbie Ray 18.5. I mean, that's definitely an area where he could improve upon.
Got the high strike on that one. 3-2.
I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, you keep your defense out there on the field. I mean, you're talking average of 18 pitches. That's what pitching coaches want to see is 15 or less. Dave Righetti wants to see 14 pitches or less.
Runner going. The strikeout. Goes a wish. Throws him out. Double play. So Ray, who had a 3-0 count, got the visit from Butcher and then proceeded to strike out Green.
High fastball right through the hands of Green, and a perfect strike from Gozowicz. And all Segura has to do is just catch it, drop the tag. You're running that situation, you're not going to get a good jump. And if you don't get contact from your hitter, you're cabbage.
2 down, nobody on. Ruben Tejada. Center field. And Bourne. And that's the inning. On to the 3rd. Ray himself will be coming up against Peavy.
CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Amici's East Coast Pizzeria. When you want the best pizza in town, Amici's delivers.
After tomorrow, the Giants won't be home for 2 weeks here at AT&T Park. The Reds will be in town. Joey Votto, the former Giant, Adam Duvall, is going to the All-Star game. They come in for a 3-game set on Monday, July the 25th, as Robbie Ray takes a called strike. Monday and Tuesday will be 7:15 starts. Wednesday the 27th, day baseball in the city at 12:45. Tickets available as Ray with a wild swing, and the count is 0-2. And you can get tickets to see the Giants and the Reds. First games back after the All-Star break at sfgiants.com/tickets. Congratulations to Adam Duvall, who's putting together a big year for Cincinnati. And that's all for Robbie Ray. Jake Peavy gets his 3rd strikeout. 1 away. And to the top of the order we go to Gene Segura coming up against Peavy. And a lot of action like that out on the bay today. It's a classic looking sailboat. Segura struck out his first time. Brandon Crawford, 2 down. And that's a blessing. You get a 1-pitch out with Segura, as the Gold Star registered here in San Francisco on the bay, checking out AT&T Park from outside.
Kind of a glorious day to be out on the water, wouldn't you say?
I'm envious. You can see the heavy winds out there. That looks like a regatta going on out there, doesn't it? Off in the distance. There's a called strike to Michael Bourne, who singled to left his first time. Bourne's the guy, you pointed it out in the first inning. He's had some success against Peavy and extended it today. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, and it's significant too because of who he's hitting in front of. For him to be able to get on base and put Peavy in the stretch and have Peavy face Paul Goldschmidt out of the stretch, it's a big deal.
Ruben Tejada, 3 up, 3 down. That was a 7-pitch inning for Jake Peavy, who suddenly is on a roll. He'll be coming up in the last of the 3rd.
Baseball on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by your Bay Area Hyundai dealers. Great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Jake Peavy leads off for the Giants. We go to the last half of the 3rd inning. Robbie Ray on the mound for Arizona. Pretty good rip there by Peavy on a high fastball. 0-1.
He's absolutely a threat. Jake Peavy is a great athlete. I mean, he can do just about anything.
He's had 4 hits, 23 at bats, including 3 runs batted in. That was a close one. Called a ball. No score in the game. The Giants have 1 hit. Arizona has 2. Strike 2 called. Now, the final out when the Giants batted in the second inning, Tejada hit a fly ball to center. He was the 8th batter faced by Ray, only the 2nd to put a ball in play. So the D-backs defense has been standing around watching most of the day so far. Peavy bounces a foul. He struck out 4 and walked 2. So 6 batters either struck out or walked. Pagan got a base hit, put a ball in play, and then finally Tejada hit the fly ball to deep center. That's the first 8 hitters. Only 2 put it in play. Peavy hitting a foul. That might be down toward our good friend down the right field line who caught one earlier rather uniquely.
Now we're going to keep an eye on her.
Peavy hanging tough here against Robbie Ray, who gets a lot of strikeouts. 2-2. And he's making him throw pitches here. Ray had thrown 41 pitches in the first 2 innings already, and this will be his 7th pitch upcoming.
You want to be 45 pitches or less after the 3rd. So he's 47 in. There's not an out in the 3rd inning yet.
This will be number 7 to Jake Peavy alone. Struck him out. Oh.
So our gal that lost her lunch and broke her glass, and in the end she finally gets a ball and a hug from Amy G. You think she's a character? Oh yeah.
That was a nice thing for Amy G to do. Ground ball foul hit by Denard Span, who struck out looking his first time. No score in this game. Dave Fleming over the radio booth, and he'll be moving over here in the 4th inning with Glenn Kuiper on assignment. Out of play off to the left. Strike 2. Denard Span could use a hit last night. He was 0 for 5 in his first game back. He missed several days with that neck problem. It really, the Giants really considered putting him on the disabled list to get rid of that. Just got it back in last night. The average has fallen to 248. Strike 3 called, and that's the 2nd time in a row he's been called out on a pitch very similar to that. 6 strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
Again, the same pitch, a cutter outside corner. Those was going out there and sticking this reception. He reached out to keep that thing in the eye of the umpire at a level that he would call a strike, and he got it. Bochy's saying that's low.
Which, if Denard Span thought it was low, then Bochy thought it was low.
That's exactly right.
So here's Pagan off the inside. Pagan hit a single. He's had the Giants' only hit so far today.
That's what managers do, though. I mean, they react to the reaction of the player.
Well, it's sort of the we're all in this together kind of attitude. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, and that goes a long way in the dugout. I mean, in the eyes of the players, when your manager's out there fighting for you, that's not a small thing.
Two and 1, and from where he stands over there, he gets a look at high and low. He can get a feel for if pitches are being called strikes regularly or not, like that look low or high. He can't tell so much whether they're inside or outside from over there. That one is falling and in there. Bourne made a great try for it, and Pagan with another single.
Now Pagan was coming around first base, and he was putting himself in position to take advantage of a mistake in the outfield. And watch the way that Bourne recovers here. This is a pretty spectacular play. That effort right there froze Pagan, who had to go into a slide to stop his momentum and get back to the bag at first. I mean, if that ball gets by Bourne, that's at least a triple, maybe more with Pagan's speed. Now watch how he comes around. Now he's got to stop once he sees the extra effort from Bourne. Good play.
So if it had got a little further past Bourne, Pagan was well on his way to second. Brandon Belt, again, nobody at third base for the D-backs. 1-1 the count to Belt, who struck out swinging his first time. Scoreless here in the third inning. Runner at first, 2 down. And Robbie Ray gets a lot of strikeouts. Ordinarily has 6 in these first 3 so far. Pagan running. Belt bunts at it and misses. Pagan steals it. He got hit in the head.
Let's hope it got the helmet.
I don't know if that was. Did the ball hit him?
Yeah. Great jump. Takes one peek, goes inside. Got him on the right side. I don't know if it got him in the helmet. Got him a bit on the ear, but I do think it caught a piece of the helmet, and that protected him.
So he was batting right-handed, so he's got the left ear flap, but not on the right ear. And yet he could have used one on the right ear.
You're right.
On the bases. Dave Greshner was out to see if he's okay, and he's going to be able to continue.
Just on the edge of the helmet, but it caught a piece of the ear. I mean, his ear's ringing, I can guarantee that.
Now base hit can mean a run. The runner at second. Now they are playing a third baseman. Nobody at shortstop. Right center field into the wide open spaces, and he can run for a while. Pagan will score easily. Belt turns second. A stand-up triple. Brandon Belt with his 5th triple of the year, and that's the first run of the game.
Now we're going to make that a Ford Wright choice. 2 out hitting with a runner in scoring position. Just a little lazy breaking ball that hung out over the middle of the plate above the knees. And for Brandon Belt, for a big man, very compact hack, finds a gap. And even with Belt, if it finds a gap, it's an easy triple and a stand-up one at that. And a Ford Wright choice.
47th RBI for All-Star Brandon Belt. And now Posey to try to bring him home. 1-1. Sharp breaking ball. Posey walked his first time. So with 2 down, Pagan got the base hit just in front of the glove of the onrushing Bourne. Stole second, and then Belt hit a triple. 1-1. 95 miles an hour, but out of the strike zone. 29th triple for the Giants as a team this year. This is a good ballpark in which to hit triples. Only one National League team has hit more triples than the Giants, and that's Arizona. And the D-backs also play in a ballpark that is well suited for hitting triples. No American League team has hit more than 20 triples this year. 29th for the Giants. The D-backs have hit 34 three-baggers. Just a little bit low. He took something off that one. 3-1. The left-handed hitting Crawford is on deck. Belt is the first Giants left-handed hitter to so much as even reach base against Robbie Ray so far today. Three and 2.
3-1 breaking ball.
He had the left-handed hitter Crawford on deck. Giants lefties, even with that triple by Belt, 1 hit in 5 at bats against Gray today.
63 pitches. A lot of throws.
This will be his 23rd pitch in this inning alone. Buster went after that high one. And here's Tomas. And the inning is over. Dave Fleming will be over to join Mike Krukow. Stay tuned. The Giants ahead 1-0.
Giants lead 1-0. Joining us now in the booth, Dave Fleming. Welcome.
Beautiful day. Giants take the lead. All is well.
Well, and we have the entertainment from the beer lady in the upper deck.
Big time. That entertained me, that's for sure. I think she's happy now. You sent her a ball. She got the coupons or the vouchers, whatever they were. She was not happy.
No.
When it first happened.
A fan who tried to catch a foul ball with 2 beers and her meal, and kind of ended up in her lap.
Yeah.
But she rallied.
Jake Peavy has that's kind of the theme of his season. He has rallied after the rough start, first month and a half. I mean, he's pitching great now.
He has had a lot to do with the surge the Giants have had here the last 6 weeks.
Paul Goldschmidt leading off, and he rips one down the left field line. That's going to be extra bases for the All-Star, Paul Goldschmidt. And he'll ease his way into second. Leadoff double.
It's the first time Peavy had missed strike 1 today. He had been 11 for 11 prior to the bat with Goldschmidt. And now he's going to get after the heart of this lineup with a runner in scoring position out of the stretch. Take a look at the pitch. Middle in. We haven't seen Peavy really miss a whole lot of locations. They set that target away, it goes up and in. But it'll make a difference. When Paul Goldschmidt's hot, he'll hit everything, especially up.
I saw some numbers today. He is maybe at the top of the list if he gets ahead in the count of doing big time damage. And all hitters, I mean, it's a key for every pitcher versus hitter battle, but when you fall behind him, you usually pay for it. And Jake Lamb, who's had a great year, takes ball 1 high. 20 home runs, tons of extra base hits. Kid from the Seattle area. I'm sure he was watching Tim Lincecum very closely as Lincecum was coming up with the Giants and winning those Cy Youngs.
Lincecum, a Seattle native, he inspired a whole generation up there in Washington.
He did. And Jake Lamb went to the University of Washington just like Lincecum. We go up there now to Seattle and that beautiful campus, and they've redone the baseball facility, and throughout the baseball facility and in the main athletic facilities, there's a shrine to Lincecum at UW, big time. His number retired on the outfield wall of that field. No swing, says Quinn.
Look out. How about that? Posey just threw the ball in the glove, and Peavy wasn't looking.
Wow.
I've never seen that ever.
I guess you can laugh about it.
I mean, that could have been banned. Peavy wasn't even looking, and Posey threw the ball back. Somebody was saying something to Peavy from the bench. It kind of hit off his chest and went right in his glove.
Meanwhile, 3-0 to Lamb. There's a strike.
He looks away, and watch, he's looking at the umpire.
You can't do that.
Because they're thinking it's going to hit Peavy right in the head.
That's precision for Posey.
That's remarkable. It's a 3-pointer.
That one ripped into right field. Base hit on one hop to Williamson. Goldschmidt will get the stop sign.
Good thing. That's a heck of a throw from Williamson. All right, one more look. You see him. He's looking at the umpire. He turns his head. Now watch this. Ba-dunk.
That's impossible.
And Peavy never even acknowledged that it hit him in the chest.
The bank shot.
This is an amazing day already, I got to tell you.
That we have never ever seen. Well, Diamondbacks have a great chance to tie or do more. First and third, nobody out. As Manny Tomas, the hitter, Giants will play the infield at double play depth. They'll take the 2 outs if they can get them. There's a check swing and another appeal, but no. Ball 1. Tomas is a definite candidate to ground into a double play.
He's hitting to 10 on the year, so you're right.
Hits that one right on a line into center field. 3 straight hits for the D-backs. Goldschmidt scores to tie the game. Well, you said it. The first 3 innings, he threw strike 1 every time. Now here in this inning, he's thrown ball 1 every time, falling behind all of these hitters.
Take a look at the pitch location. A little lazy slider, and it's just a hanger is all that is. So Buster Posey coming out to talk to Peavy, and I think he may talk about slowing things down with his upper body a bit. Not allowing his hand to get up high enough before he puts that foot down as he strides towards his target. Just stay cocked a little bit longer. And that'll add snap on your slider and sink on your sinker. And right now he needs a sinker to get a ground ball.
Yeah, Diamondbacks are thinking big inning now. That was a pretty good pitch, called a ball. Well, George Conto's getting up. One thing about this particular situation, you got Bumgarner tomorrow, then you have the All-Star break, so I think Bruce Bochy's feeling pretty good about his ability to use the bullpen aggressively if he needs to. That one called a strike.
Good break on that breaking ball. There's last night's winning pitcher, Jeff Samardzija, got his 9th win. It's a personal high before the All-Star game. The thing he did last night that was so impressive was right his ship. He had a rocky first inning, found his rhythm, took the ball into the 7th. Did a nice job.
Yeah, you were not thinking early in that game that he'd be still in the game in the 7th inning. So that also gives Bochy a little more freedom, where last night he used 3 guys, Law, Romo, and Strickland, but Giants bullpen, the off day before this series started, should be fresh.
Yeah, the bullpen's in a good place. They got 2 days off this week with a complete game from Johnny Cueto and the scheduled day off back to back. So 2 days of rest on a bullpen this time of year works wonders. And the other thing too is, you know, you're looking at a start tomorrow from Madison Bumgarner where you figure he's going to go deep in the ball game, and you manage that way, so he can air his bullpen out today.
That one comes back but misses. Fastball, 2-1. Well, I think a look of concern.
Well, Peavy's one ground ball away from getting that double play and minimizing things here in this inning. That's what he's done a great job of here this last 8 starts.
Drury, the kid from Grants Pass, Oregon. Outside 3-1. He's got talent, drafted out of high school. This guy's got some ability. And it's not a comfortable at bat when he's ahead of the count, 3-1. He's hit 9 home runs. He's got 15 doubles and a triple. 2 on, nobody out, a run in. That one is lined softly, right center field, base hit. And they're going to wave Jake Lamb around. Williamson will just throw back in towards second. D-backs have gone ahead.
So Dave Righetti going to come out. George Contos has stopped throwing in the Giants bullpen. He's ready to go. So one thing that Righetti will talk about is, how are you? Are you all right? How do you feel? What is there a reason? Remember, he got hit in the chest with the ball throwing back to him. I'm sure he's going to ask him about that. And then he's also going to tell him, you need to get an out here. Skipper may be going to the bullpen. You want to stay in this ball game, you need to get some outs. And pitching coaches do not sugarcoat a whole lot to veterans like Peavy. And the reason for it is Peavy didn't want to hear it.
Well, that, to me, that tells a lot of the story. Ahead of the count, first 3 innings. Pitching from behind of the count all inning long. And now you got the bottom part of the order. That's not to say it's easy, but maybe a chance to limit the damage here. Still nobody out. There's a strike. Ball 1.
All of a sudden, where he was nailing those corner locations, now he's just a little bit outside the strike zone.
He struck out Gozawish back in the second. Another example of that, where that was on the corner in the first few innings. Now he's missing.
That double play ball. That's what he's pitching for. If you miss here, you should be missing below the strike zone. Let that hitter help you. Gozawish has been hot down in the minor leagues before being called up.
2-1. That one was up, but popped up. Belt backpedaling. Green coming in. It's going to be Williamson who takes it. Well, it may not be quite as bad as Monday, 4th of July, the day game, when Peavy was on the mound, where the Pagan told us it was the hardest conditions he could remember in this park to catch a fly ball or a pop-up. But it's not easy today.
Yeah, these last 2 homestands, we've seen big-time wins. And when you get a bright, sunny day and you throw wind on top of it, there's nothing easy about a fly ball or a pop-up.
So now Ahmed, who's 0 for 10 with 4 strikeouts in his career against Peavy. 2-1 Arizona. They've scored twice in the inning. That was the first out of the inning. Ahmed to right center field, and a long run for Span, who's going to get there and make the catch. Tomas tags, goes to third, but that's a big second out with the pitcher coming up.
Chance to see the range of Denard Span going into Triples Alley. Gets there easily. So a chance now for Peavy to be able to pitch out of this with this, just allowing the 2. But Robbie Ray can swing the bat. And he's got a little pop in his bat.
He's hit a home run. So you got to pitch him like a real hitter. First and third, 2 down. That's a strike. One thing about Denard Span, he missed the 6 games. He hasn't had a hit since coming back last night. He's 0 for 7, but he's made some really good plays in center field.
He really has. He had to play the game last night late.
Could have gotten a lot more stressful without that play.
Indeed.
That one on the ground to Belt, who's going to call off Peavy and take it himself. And Peavy's not happy, but all things considered, he did a pretty good job. Only 2 runs allowed. D-backs go ahead. With the MLB.com at-bat app, you can stay up to the moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, and more. MLB.com at-bat on your phone and tablet. Happy anniversary,
The Lucido family.
Oh no, it's not Ron, it's Raj. And Vinci Lucido, happy anniversary, 50 years.
That is an accomplishment. Nice going. Trying to catch him.
You are. That's your goal, 50?
Well, 75 actually.
Jake Peavy back in the dugout after a rough top of the 4th inning, but only the 2 runs. So the Giants, they scored first. They went ahead. Now they're down 2-1. 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up. Crawford, Williamson, Green. First pitch from Ray to Crawford. That high fastball popped up. Lamb fighting the sun, and it hits him. My goodness. Might need the sunglasses.
Well, you got them on the top of your hat. And those aren't even really the dark ones that you need. I mean, it's just brutal right now. Watch him. He never was comfortable looking for help, trying to shade his eyes. That's a base hit. I mean, really, when you think about it, he hung in there pretty good, courageously, as a matter of fact. Hits him on the shoulder. It could have hit him right full on in the face. He never saw it. He never saw the ball.
Well, that is scary. That could have hit him right in the face, hit him in the shoulder, so he's fine. Now Mac Williamson, who walked, takes strike 1.
One more look. Now he drops the glove here. So, I mean, he never reaches the glove up to think even where it might be.
So whatever it is, whether you need to put the sunglasses on, get the darker glasses, use the glove a little bit more. I mean, you got to use everything you got today.
Well, I'm a little surprised he's not putting them on, even if they don't help at this point.
Yeah, just sort of
put them on for false hustle. But you know who's wondering? The guy out there on the mound.
Yeah.
Bobby Ray just got a first out on a 1 pitch. And now that's gone.
0-1. Williamson to center field, and a late break for Bourne, but he's got time. You can see the sunglasses flashing in that sun. 1 out, and we'll go to Amy G.
All right, Dave. Well, it's time for our Giant in the Community. It is sponsored by PG&E. And, of course, we're going to talk about who else? Jake Peavy, the do-gooder on that Giants team. He was recently recognized by the Giants as a finalist for the 2016 Bob Feller Act of Valor Award. Now, Peavy and his foundation, guys, are huge supporters of our servicemen and women. They've donated time, a lot of money, and entertainment. He also worked alongside his teammates making welcome home bags for soldiers returning home from deployment. Peavy's the best. He sets a super example, guys.
He does. I mean, there are a lot of people in the game who describe Jake Peavy as the most giving player that they've ever been around. He's taking care of the young teammates. He's taking care of servicemen and women, kids in the community. I mean, that's what he kind of lives for. I mean, it's not pretend. That one hit pretty well by Grant Green. Deep left field and gone. That's his first Giants home run, and it puts the Giants ahead 3-2.
Boy, and now the pop-up that was dropped. I mean, what do you think's going on through the mind of Robbie Ray? And it can rattle your concentration. He has not missed out over the plate with that fastball at all. He's kept it in tight at the belt of these right-handed hitters all day long. Here, he hangs one, and Grant Green says, that's right where I like it. Giants retake the lead.
High breaking ball, 1-0. Well, and it's not piling on Jake Lamb, but it does. For that pitcher out there, that it just makes that pop-up not caught really hurt. Tejada has been swinging the bat pretty well. Takes ball 2.
Reaction from Bruce Bochy and Jake Peavy in the background. Sir Bam Bam Mullins. Sir Bam.
When you have the best record in the big leagues, you go by the formal title.
You have to.
Even as a hitting coach.
He's been knighted. You have to acknowledge that.
He has been. 2-1 to Tejada.
But you know what, though? That is a little bit of an insight to the mind of Robbie Ray, who's a young pitcher. And as he matures in this game, that will no longer be an issue at some point in his career. A pop-up that your third baseman doesn't see, it hits him on the shoulder, it goes as a hit, it's not an error. And your mind just stays on it. You can't leave it and move on to the next pitch. And that's something you learn when you pitch at this level long enough. Because it affects the other pitches you throw.
3-2. Not to go off on a total tangent, but I do think there should be a way. Maybe you don't penalize the individual fielder, but if the whole idea of errors is to try to reflect how well the pitcher pitched, you get a ball like that. I mean, that should be reflected as an out, not a hit. There should be some way to account for that. That one's way high, ball 4.
Well, you're right, and you would think that with all the statistics that have improved the game through sabermetrics, there'd be a way to explain what happened here in this inning. It has clearly affected his concentration. Yep. I mean, he walks Tejada. But, Robbie Ray is still a young pitcher, and, where you develop once you get to this level is in your mind.
Peavy showing bunt. Not a sure thing he is bunting. He swings away and hits one foul. So he wasn't trying to get those infielders creeping in. And for Robbie Ray, I mean, you see the stuff. You look at the ERA and the numbers, and you think, gosh, there's better performance in that arm. He's got good stuff. And maybe that's the growth that needs to happen that you're talking about.
Oh, and it'll happen. I mean, when you get to the big league level, I mean, there's no other place that is like the big league level. So you kind of have to learn how to play at this speed, at this level here. And you've got great instructors and teammates to help you along your way to speed up the path. But you just have to go out there and take your lumps. The price of education here is costly. You learn through your mistakes. If you're good enough, you play long enough, you will figure it out. And I have no doubt that Ray will figure it out.
Peavy still showing bunt. Takes ball 2. There are not a lot of left-handers who throw 95 and sustain that velocity 100 pitches. I mean, he does. He's got the hard fastball from the left side, and he can pitch deep into a game.
But, I mean, clearly this inning his concentration has been fractured.
It's gone. He's got to throw a strike here. Peavy's trying to give him an out. Well, the Diamondbacks may have taken note of what we're talking about. I don't think they're too distracted.
No, life is good.
You don't need a lot of concentration level out there.
No. They have planned it, they have pulled it off, and now they are living the high life.
Peavy swings away and lines one into left field, base hit. Well, now you really get the feeling the Giants can take advantage of this. They've got Robbie Ray on the ropes.
Nice job. I mean, that's not a hanger either. That's that cut fastball at the belt that has been his bread and butter today. And look at the bent arm approach. An example of the athleticism of Peavy.
I mean, it continues to amaze me. Peavy has to cheat on the eye chart tests. Posey practically wears a foam finger behind the dish to give the signs because he can't see the signs. And yet he can hit. He's a pretty good hitter. He's always been a good hitter. He cannot see. I find that to be pretty amazing.
He just keeps whacking the blur.
If it's white and it's moving, take a swing.
And then the no look, I'm going to bounce it off my chest and make the play catch. Yeah, thank you.
That's my favorite play of the year so far.
And the reaction for Peavy, he never rubbed it, he never acknowledged it. He was still woofing at the umpire. Buster Posey was coming out of the squad. He was already figuring, uh-oh, this is going to be bad. And then all of a sudden, it just became pure entertainment.
2 on, 1 out. 2 runs already in. Robbie Ray struggling, and the top of the order coming up. Span, a little soft liner caught by Lamb, scrambling to get back Tejada.
Good read by Tejada.
Well, that might count as the blur. I think we know what that is.
That's good attitude right there. Oh yeah. You think he was laughing when he was doing that?
I think he was shaking a little bit. Angel Pagan 2 for 2 already in this game. Another one of those, and the Giants probably add another run. Tejada's got decent speed at second. 2 down, going on contact. Ball 1. You know, it used to be where we would see the Diamondbacks and think A.J. Pollock, strong arm, Ender Inciarte, good arm, Gerardo Parra, great arm. And you could not run against their outfield. It is a little different with the moves they've made, with the injuries. Pagan on the ground to third. Jake Lamb will go to second to force out Peavy. And that's it for the Giants. But Grant Green, his first Giants home run. Giants got a break. They took advantage of it, and they take the lead. Through 4, it's 3-2 Giants.
on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Mr. Pickle's Sandwich Shop, where the summer blockbusters aren't just stellar, they're interstellar.
What a beautiful Saturday in Northern California at AT&T Park. Giants D-backs 3-2. Giants trying to make it 2 in a row against Arizona. And now they lead after Grant Green's first Giants home run, 3-2. Jake Peavy still in the game. It's a big moment in the game, though. Top of the order coming up. Third time against Peavy. Strike one. Gene Segura 0 for 2 so far. Diamondbacks, they play the Giants very tough, and especially here.
Oh, indeed. When you think back to when they saw the D-backs early in the season, Diamondbacks won 4 in a 4-game series.
It's the highlight of their year. Right there, strike 2 called.
Well, it also meant something too that when the Giants faced the D-backs for the first time this year in a 4-game series in Arizona, they took all 4 of those. And I can't remember that ever happening where you exchange 4-game sweeps.
A 4-game sweep is so rare anyway, home or road. But for both road teams to do it, same head-to-head matchup just a couple weeks apart. And the Giants, it's going back years now. The Giants have played really well in Phoenix. But you say the same in reverse. That's kind of a hanger, but hit softly toward third.
Well, I think prior to this series, the Diamondbacks going back into 2015, they were 12-2 in their last 14 games here. And their starters ERA was just a bit over 1. I mean, they were just lights out.
It's almost like they get out of Chase Field and those starters so thankful they get to pitch here. Such a different place to play ball. 2-2 again. Segura fouls it off again. Don't hit it near the beer lady.
No, she'll get it done. She may give up her entire meal and 2 beers to do it, but she'll get it done.
We had maybe the all-time moment of baseball hits concession items early in this game. It's been entertaining through 4 innings. Giants now back ahead. That one is lined to center. Base hit.
Well, that's a significant swing of the bat for the D-backs because it puts Peavy right back in the stretch. Well, here's the lady we're talking about. This is early in the game. She just sat down with her meal and
oh, the slow-mo is awesome.
And just
seriously. Yeah.
I think she, and then this is the reaction when she saw it on social media. Oh my gosh. Massive horse laugh.
I perked her up.
Well, you got to invite her to your party. I mean, she will light the room up. That's a whole bunch of good attitude right there.
0-1 to Michael Bourne. This becomes a huge at bat. You got the big boys after this. Goldschmidt and then Jake Lamb. Posey sending that target in, and he throws right to the target. Ball.
That's what he wanted. Big part of this game simply because of what happened last inning and what Bourne has done historically against Peavy.
Javier Lopez just fell down going to the bullpen. So this is the day of what?
So this is a full moon on a day game. All right, here we go. I got the yep and that. Folks, you want entertainment? You're at the right place.
Oh my goodness. I don't think he can keep a straight face. Yep, I got this.
That was graceful clumsiness right there. If there is such a thing.
1-2 in the dirt, and Segura took off very aggressively, got a real good read. That takes away the double play possibility. Wild pitch from Peavy.
That is a good play. You get your secondary lead, you have to anticipate the path of the ball. And a lot of guys are freeze because the ball stayed out in front of Posey. Now watch the reaction. No hesitation. That's just great instincts right there.
That's a tying run. Nobody out. 2-2. Bourne to Pagan. Trying to fight that bright sunshine. He's got it. One away.
Omar Vizquel said something when he played here we never really considered. He says you don't really need to have glasses here in a day game till about the 7th inning, which is why all the players on the left side of second base, it's shortstops, third baseman, and left fielders are not putting the glasses on. When the sun swings around, it gets right straight on their face right around the 7th inning. The old style flip ups. New style. Everything about Brandon Crawford is new style. He wears it well.
Here's Goldschmidt. You got first base open. Lopez getting ready behind Peavy. So we'll see how aggressive they are to Paul Goldschmidt. Call the ball. Peavy's starting to believe, I think, that he's getting squeezed a bit.
Yeah, he's got to keep that ball down.
Yeah, even if that was called a strike, I don't think it was the way he wanted to throw it. Well, Green cut to the bag to cover, and then Peavy threw a pitch. That usually is not supposed to happen.
If a middle infielder cuts the bag and he comes out of position, you just have to step off. And I think that affected the pitch. Got a base open here.
There's a strike.
He also knows that if Goldschmidt gets on, his day is done. Javier Lopez heating up quickly, and the left-handed hitting Jake Lamb on deck. That's the challenge for Peavy. He needs to get this out to stay in the game.
Foul ball, strike 2. And Posey wants to talk.
And this may be something that Posey may emphasize too as well. You need to stay in this game. You want to qualify for a win. Got to go 5 full innings at least. You need to get this guy. If he gets on, you're coming out. No sign.
3-2. I echo what you were just saying. He knows this could be his final pitch of the day. You got to make a good one. (3-2) to Goldschmidt. He hits one foul.
Perfect pitch.
It was.
Goldschmidt did well to just fight that off.
Almost like an emergency swing where at the last minute Goldschmidt thought I better protect. Another 3-2 to the D-backs All-Star. Bounce softly foul with the fastball.
Kept it down around the knees. 90-mile-an-hour two-seam movement. He's digging deep right now. I mean, he is digging deep.
Here we go again. 3-2. Same result.
Painting the outside corner. Test of wills right here. Goldschmidt has been red hot. He considers himself the centerpiece of this D-backs lineup. Runner in scoring position, a chance to tie the ball game. Peavy wants to stay in this game.
Ninth pitch of the at-bat. Ball 4. Trying to throw the perfect pitch, and he could not do it. Here comes Bochy. And he's running, so sometimes that means he wants a chat rather than a change. He hasn't made the call yet.
If he hasn't made the call yet, then he wants to look into his eyes.
Now he does make the call. And maybe Jake Peavy was honest with him. Maybe he'd run out of gas. Lopez coming in when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Appreciation night right here at AT&T Park. Your special event ticket will include a limited edition law enforcement themed Giants belt buckle and a ticket to see the Giants take on the Nationals. Go to sfgiants.com/special events for more information.
New pitcher for the Giants. It wasn't smooth going to the bullpen, but it was smooth coming from the bullpen to the mound. Javier Lopez.
Well, that kind of loosens you up a little bit. 39th game that he has been in. And for Lopez, 2 types of movement on the fastball, curveball, slider, and he'll throw all those to the lefty, and he will pitch inside, which is kind of what makes him a bit unique from that sidearm delivery.
And he knows this is his one hitter. Facing Jake Lamb. Gets the call. Strike 1 right at the knees. That's where I think his job is such a tough one, because his manager does not use him unless it's one of the best left-handed hitters on the other side. He faces the elite, because you don't want to use him when you think there's a pinch hit move coming in a typical game. That one past Lopez. Crawford gets to it, spins, and throws him out. Wow.
Now the fact that they got an out is miraculous. That's how good that play was.
Really good.
Well, it comes back on the ground and it gets past Lopez. They'd put a shift on, and this goes right between the shift, and there's almost a collision. 360s, and through all the distraction, he still gets at the belt to get the out. And they got the out. Nice play.
Really nice play. Lopez does his job thanks to a shortstop that somehow is not going to the All-Star game. 3-2 Giants lead. talk about and what they do when you're not home. This summer the secret is out. From the humans behind Despicable Me comes The Secret Life of Pets, in theaters now.
I'm in. I'm going.
It's all-star break activity.
That'll be on the game plan.
I know what my dog does when we're not there, because he leaves a trail.
George Contos coming in, 31st time, 1-1 with a 3.28 ERA.
Shoot up cereal boxes. Yes, Ronnie Tomas, strike one, swinging.
92-mile-an-hour challenge right out of bed, and very quickly on top.
Contos has always had a knack for these kind of spots where he inherits men on base. Big spot here. Giants trying to keep the lead. Lopez got one out. That one is lined to left, but hanging for Pagan, who's got it. Tomas hit it hard, but it's out, number 3. The D-backs do not score. Brought to you by Coors Banquet. We'll go back to the 2012 All-Star Game in Kansas City. Matt Cain, 7th Giants pitcher all-time to start the All-Star Game. He ended up getting the win. Only a hit in 2 innings, no runs. He got the victory, and the National League won. And the Giants, of course, earned home field advantage ultimately in the World Series because of that win against the Tigers. 0-1 to Brandon Belt. Big hitters coming up for the Giants here. Belt, Posey, Crawford. Giants maintain the lead. Good work from Lopez and Contos. Robbie Ray still in the game, and another hard hit ball, but foul. That's the game we're talking about, 2012 All-Star Game. Giants had a big presence in that game overall. You see him throwing to Buster. Matt Cain got the win. Pablo Sandoval was there in a Giants uniform. Melky Cabrera was there. 0-2 Belt fouls one away. And it could be that we'll have another Giants pitcher starting the All-Star Game this year. I mean, it's really amazing how many injuries the National League top starting pitchers have suffered in just the last few weeks. It's not to say that Cueto wouldn't deserve it, but
well, Kershaw, Greinke, Syndergaard.
Belt strikes out swinging. So there are the Giants pitchers who started an All-Star Game.
Carl Hubble, he put on a show, historic show.
Still maybe the most famous All-Star Game performance of all time.
There's Shaw, a couple of stars. Vida Blue in 1978, Rick Russell, 1989, Jason Schmidt, Tim Lincecum, and Matt Cain. Be a nice list of names to put your name next to if you're Johnny Cueto.
Here's Buster Posey. That is ball 1 to Posey. Well, you got Jake Arrieta is a candidate still to start. He's available to pitch in the game. Jose Fernandez having a good year. He's a candidate to start. Posey hit that one deep, but foul. Yeah, I think those are the three best candidates. You know, the other guy who is clearly a great candidate and has the storyline to go with it. Cueto is first in the league in wins, third in ERA, pitched more innings, has more complete games. The resume is there for Cueto, no matter who's hurt. But Steven Strasburg is the one. That one grounded to short. And then throws out Posey in the dirt, but Goldschmidt helped him out. And Strasburg is 12-0. He's from San Diego. He went to San Diego State. He's got great ties to the Tony Gwynn family, which means a lot for this year's All-Star game. And yet the Nationals have said he's not pitching. He's already been replaced on the roster, so he can't start, even though he pitched yesterday. He was on the DL with a little bit of the back problem, missed a start.
Yeah, I'm sure that's their concern, to try and keep that back area calm. He's so instrumental into their plans second half of the season.
Yeah, look, Strasburg's having a great year. They don't want to mess with it. I get it. But it would be really meaningful for him. And maybe, who knows, maybe he told him, I don't care. But it's his hometown. It's the All-Star game. Start the All-Star game in your home.
Oh, he has to be disappointed.
You can't let him throw an inning. But he won't go. And to me, that really opens the door for Cueto. The Giants, part of it too, the Cubs have that compelling storyline, but the Giants have the best record right now in the National League. Bruce Bochy, kind of the opposite of the Nationals. He's lobbying for Cueto to start the game.
Well, and Johnny Cueto's come out and said, you know, I want to do it. And just so there's no doubt. And that blew my mind in 1986. I think it was 11 or 12 pitchers that made the All-Star team. And Whitey Herzog got us all together. Says, anybody doesn't want to pitch? I said, I looked around thinking, yeah, what a question. 3 guys raised their hands.
Crawford to left field, hit well. Drury is back and he'll make the catch. Near the wall, Crawford with a good swing. But the Giants' big hitters go down in order. On we go to the 6th, 3-2 Giants.
Will work with 5,000 community volunteers to serve 25,000 kids in California, Nevada, and Oregon. And over 11,000 of these kids would not play baseball if not for this program. We're grateful for your support of the stretch drive at any level. $440 donated will receive an autographed baseball autographed by Willie McCovey and Matt Duffy. $1,000 donors will receive a Matt Duffy autographed bat. $2,500 donors will receive Willie McCovey autographed bat. Visit jrgiants.org to learn more.
So do what that guy has done. Climb all the way to the top. Get it all. Yeah. Be at the top of the heap for the stretch drive. Maybe not the most comfortable spot, but probably pretty fun.
Well, yeah.
These days we see it all out there. Pagan breaking in quickly on the move. Nice play, Angel Pagan. And once again, let's go to Amy G.
All right, guys. Well, yesterday, CSN Bay Area was able to hand out some big bucks. It's our healthy dose of goodness. It's brought to you by Eric's Deli Cafe. $20,000 went to San Jose Castillero Middle School teacher Scott Crane, and he teaches orchestra. He is a big believer in bringing the arts to the schools. He does a fabulous job. He was so excited, and he's a huge Giants fan. It's a fabulous program, and all the contestants that didn't receive the big prize, guys, they still got $2,000 for their school. So all around goodness. Darylman?
Excellent. Well deserved. Strike up the band. The orchestra teacher won. Ball one from Contos to Goes a Wish. D-backs catcher. Contos got the final out last inning. Bullpen's quiet, so they'd like him to just pitch this 6th inning. A Grant Green home run back in the 4th. Diamondbacks had taken the lead 2-1. A missed pop-up because of the bright sun, and then Green launched a 2-run homer, has put the Giants ahead. They've stayed ahead 3-2. That's a strike.
Slider really had Kozovich out on his front foot. Hey, the whole family's here.
With the binoculars.
Baller. That's great. I mean, how many places can you dress up with your mom and dad and go out and be like on the same vibe?
Strike 3 swinging.
Good. 2-seam sinker.
Might be a couple twins there.
2-seam movement and just big time sink, and goes with swinging right over the top. And he's not an easy guy to strike out. He usually puts the ball in play. Not this time.
Two down, nobody on for the shortstop, Nick Ahmed. You know, you watch Nick Ahmed, he is really an excellent defensive shortstop. He's one of the few, I think you could say, he hangs around in that class of Brandon Crawford. When Crawford first came up, a lot of the outside scouts and analysts said, well, Crawford's going to play great shortstop, but he's not going to hit. Ahmed skies one to left. They're waiting for that development from Ahmed. It's happened for Crawford. The Gold Glove defense and the Silver Slugger at the position. Contos 8-pitch inning retires the side in order.
Should have been an all-star.
Area is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By Kelly Moore Paints, celebrating 70 years as your neighborhood paint store. By Xfinity, X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
Well, the Giants Insider Podcast is live on CSNBayArea.com, and you can log on each week as Insider Alex Pavlovich will talk baseball, and you can get it also on iTunes. Check it out.
Check it out. New pitcher for the D-backs when it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. It's kind of the long man in this D-backs bullpen. Randall Delgado. Robbie Ray, the starter, goes 5. Delgado takes over. And it's Gregor Blanco hitting for Mac Williamson to lead off this 6th inning for the Giants.
Delgado is really locked into that role with the Diamondbacks. Does a good job. And you're going to get a low to mid-90s fastball with him with 4 good pitches. Curveball, slider, changeup, and he'll throw them all as you see Albert Suarez start to get heated up in the Giants bullpen. It's nice to have a guy that can come in and do anything you want out of the bullpen. He can throw long for you. He can situationally pitch. He can spot start for you. He's invaluable. If the game goes extra innings, he can throw through the lineup a couple times if he has to.
Blanco, I think, was taken all the way on 3-0. Takes a strike. Well, we saw it firsthand these last few years. The value of a guy like that in Yusmeiro Petit.
Same type of an asset.
Ball 4. Blanco draws the walk. Last night, I wasn't sure this was possible for Gregor. Not that Gregor doesn't have some power, but in the fog, in the cold.
Oh, well, and the later the night goes, the harder it is to hit it out to the right side of the field, especially to that part of the field. But hey, he's got a pretty good trot. He didn't get a chance to use it a lot, but that's a good trot.
That was his first home run of the year. Giants are going to go back to the bench. Ramiro Pena will come in for Grant Green. Sorry, Grant, you hit a 2-run homer. Next at bat, we're using a pinch hitter.
Hey, such is the life.
Giants have the 1-run lead. They love to add on here.
One thing you don't expect is when a guy like Pena comes in here to hit with nobody out and runner first base, you don't expect him to bunt now when he's pinch hitting. Simply because, you know, you wouldn't burn a guy. You'd let Green have bunted if it was a bunt situation.
Popped up. Ahmed using that glove, backpedaling, and he hangs on. Every one of those is just a wrestling match.
What does Dwayne Kuiper call it?
The pop-up dance?
The pop-up dance.
He's got some good moves, Nick Ahmed.
Well, you know, and your shortstops are your guys who are usually pretty gifted athletically, and when they struggle with pop-ups, you know it's a tough play.
1 out. Here's Tejada with the pitcher's spot due up next. Giants have Albert Suarez up in the bullpen. Curve for a strike to Tejada.
I think he's the best 164 hitter in the game right now.
Well, I do agree. His at-bats have been pretty good.
They've been very good. You know, when you talk about this guy who's been a lifetime 255 hitter, and that's after he's in his 5th year. So you do that for 4 years. I mean, you can hit. So we all believe that the hits are coming for this guy, and we're starting to see more confidence every time he gets in that batter's box.
Rips that one down the left field line. It is a fair ball. Into the corner. Blanco can move. Gregor Blanco being sent home. And the relay from Ahmed is cut off. Blanco scores. There's one of those hits for Tejada. 4-2 Giants.
You can just feel the confidence that he takes in that box, and you can watch it in his balance. How he goes from his right leg to his front leg, and he keeps that shoulder in tight. The front foot gets down in time, and then he punishes this ball. I mean, that's just a good balanced swing, and it's going to knock Delgado out of this ball game. An easy score from Blanco, standing up.
Delgado faces 3 hitters, gives up a run, and he'll be coming out. Chip Hales. It's taken Chip a while to explain to the umpire what move he's trying to make. No. I want this guy here. So it's going to be a double switch, and we'll see what the change is with the lefty coming in. When we come back, Giants have upped the lead. It's 4-2.
By authority of the San Francisco Giants, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
4-2 Giants. They've added on here in the bottom of the 6th on this beautiful Saturday, and the double switch brings in a new pitcher to face the pinch hitter Jarrett Parker. It's lefty Zach Curtis.
See the numbers in 15 games. Curtis, low 90s fastball, slider, changeup.
Runner at second, 1 out. Parker, foul ball.
Sneaky fast. Curtis not a big guy, just 5'9".
They move Segura to short. Phil Gosselin comes in. He'll hit in the 9th spot and lead off in the 7th. Nick Ahmed, who made the final out in the top of this inning, is out of the game. Well, Parker's got a chance where a hit could add a run. Tejada at second. That's a ball. Five home runs, a lot of power. He's been a pretty patient hitter too. Breaking ball fooled him. Zach Curtis threw 10 pitches last night to get 2 outs and give up a hit and a walk. It was happening fast when Curtis was in the game. Parker way up there. Left center field. Who wants it? Drury, Bourne, and they softly collide. Drury hangs on to the ball. This has been a strange day, Mike, wouldn't you say?
Well, yeah, it all started in the stands when this woman spilled her beers. Pagan gets hit in the air. Watch the ball carry him off the chest of Peavy. A 3-pointer from Posey. This ball was a pop-up that Lamb lost in the sun, and then Javier Lopez had the greatest entrance onto a big league field we ever saw. So, hey.
Yeah, what's coming next? Well, one thing, they're trying to do the wave. That might be the goofiest of all.
I don't think it's going to get too far.
Giants fans are supposed to know better than that. We love our fans. Denard Span trying to knock in a run. 0 for 3. That's a ball.
Just missed with that slider. Yeah, our crowd's kind of a waveless crowd. Doesn't happen very often.
I mean, they're trying it right where we're sitting. You can hear some folks trying, some folks booing.
Hey.
1-1. Foul ball, strike 2. Denard Span could use a hit. It's been a while. He missed the 6 games with the neck injury. Didn't go on the DL. Now he's 0 for 8 since coming back to the lineup yesterday. So you know he's itching. 1 run in, a runner at second, 2 down. Zach Curtis, the pitcher. Outside with the fastball.
He hadn't missed by much. I mean, he's made some good pitches here. It's almost he's pounding that outside corner. He's forcing Denard Span to think left field.
Two. He goes to left field. Shallow. Long run for Drury. Dives. Foul.
Oh, boy.
Ouch.
He could have got hurt diving right into that mound.
Courageous attempt by Brandon Drury.
He's feeling this one.
Ouch. Now you got some pigeons roosting on the field.
But you're thinking it's flat ground over there, and he dives right into the mound. Total face plant. He's still taking inventory out there in left field. I think he's all right.
Check those glasses out. Make sure they're okay. He left a mark.
Yeah, he may have broke his glasses.
Might have. He's testing to see if he can see without them. All right, back to baseball. 2-2. Low. Full count to Span.
Well, one more look. His head really making hard contact into the side of that mound. I mean, he shells it out. He's going for it. And that did not feel good. I think it could have been worse. I think he's all right. Well, you could add that on the list, Dave.
I think it belongs on the list. That's a comebacker. A crazy day at the ballpark, and we'll go to the 7th. John's coming back, and what will we see next? Ruben Tejada with a double to knock in a run. Giants add on 4-2 through 6 here at AT&T.
Game summary is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. And let's take a look at the numbers. The D-backs through 6, 2 runs on 7 hits. Giants 4 runs on 7 hits. And Grant Green, the big swing of the bat, a 2-run homer in the 4th inning gave the Giants a lead. They have not given it back. That is our Toyota game summary. Right now, when it's time for a change to the Expedia Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts, Albert Suarez to pitch the 7th inning here. It's 4-2 Giants, and once again here is John Miller.
All right, thanks, and that's ball 1 to Gosselin, who came in as part of a double switch in the last of the 6th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike to count down. Ramiro Pena stays in after pinch hitting for Green at second base. And Gregor Blanco, who pinch hit for Mac Williamson, stays in to play right field. Whoa, that was a beauty. And the rule to swing on the appeal by Mike DeMuro, the first base umpire. Great pitch.
Take a look at the curveball. Did he check his swing? Well, that said gray area. We always talk about half are called, half are not called.
2-2. Gosselin, former Atlanta Brave prospect, .264 average with a home run. Used a lot as a pinch hitter. Now it's 3-2. He's had 35 at bats as a pinch hitter with 11 hits, so he's done pretty well in that role. And he's used a lot in double switches, that sort of thing, the way he was used here today. And he walked him. That's not the way he wanted to start.
It is not, and that was an easy take. It's a big outing for Albert Suarez. I mean, he's obviously won the confidence of Bruce Bochy, the job he has done as a starter. Now he's back in the bullpen.
Of course, he'd always been a starter throughout his minor league career. They had him pitched 3 or 4 games out of the bullpen this year just before the Giants brought him up to the big leagues. And Segura, the leadoff man, fouls one out of play.
Well, he's a strike thrower, and he's got 2 types of fastball and give you a low to mid-90s with the velocity. He's curveball, slider, changeup, and he will throw everything. And that's why it's so odd to see him come into a ball game and walk a hitter, because he does have a nice feel of all of his pitches.
He last pitched this past Sunday in Arizona. This would have been the normal rest for him to come back and make the start today. But the Giants actually sent him back out to the minor leagues after that game last Sunday, because Sergio Romo, when the team got home on Monday, was brought back from the disabled list. And Suarez, to make room for him, was sent back down to the minor leagues. And after a couple of days, he was brought back to the big leagues again. That's a foul off to the right. Suarez has been a guy who's done a good job with the Giants. He has a 3.72 earned run average, 6 starts. This is his 7th relief appearance. And before today, 48 in the 3rd innings, 41 hits, and he'd had 33 strikeouts versus only 12 walks. So he's, what's that, 1 walk every 4 innings, just a little over 2 walks per 9 innings, which is excellent.
That's where you want to be.
That kind of hung right in the middle of the plate, but fouled back to the screen by a very disappointed and dejected Segura.
He definitely thought he should have done more with that pitch.
Jake Peavy started, but it really beginning in the 4th inning became a difficult day for Jake. He threw a lot of pitches. He only gave up 2 runs, but was not able to get through the 5th inning. This could be 2, but bobbled by Pena, and they get none. Wow, and that's a big play not to get anybody out.
And Segura really doesn't give you that much of an opportunity to regroup if you have a bobble. He'll put some speed down the line. And really not even close. So Dave Righetti going to come out. The ball just did not find the pocket as he goes down to the backhand.
Pena, mostly a shortstop in the minor leagues, who also learned how to play second base and really learned how to play third base in the big leagues when the Yankees first brought him up a few years back, as Josh Osich will get loose in the Giants bullpen. This inning has not begun well. The Giants with a walk issued by Suarez to Gosselin to start the inning, then the error by Pena. So 2 gift base runners. And the big hitters will be coming up all too soon here, with Bourne coming up right now. And then you get to Goldschmidt, Lamb, Tomas, Drury, all the big sluggers. So Suarez pitching under pressure here. The Giants ahead 4-2. Bourne 1 for 3 in the game. Ball 1. The third baseman Tejada playing very shallow. See how they set it up defensively here.
Well, Giants are going to anticipate the bunt, and with Bourne, I mean that is a lot of pressure on any corner infield because of his speed.
He's not bunting. It's into right center. Span battling the sun out there, tagging up at second. Gosselin will move over to third.
Well, I mean, the fear, if you bunt Bourne, you're going to lose Goldschmidt by way of the intentional walk, and I think that's why Chip Hale, the skipper of the D-backs, did not put the sacrifice on. But it wasn't a totally non-productive out. They did move up the runner from second on the fly ball, so they'll be semi-happy with that. One thing the D-backs want, they want Goldschmidt to get pitched to.
Goldschmidt faced Suarez just last Sunday and hit a home run against him in the 6th inning. Ball 1.
Good pitch. Suarez a little disappointed he didn't get that call, but Suarez has to know he's got a base to play with here.
4-2 Giants. Gosselin at third, and the possible tie run Segura, who's also the D-backs leading base stealer, at first base. Belt on the bag with him at first. That goes foul, and not hit all that hard. It would not have been a double play ball if it had been fair.
He's helping himself out with his location. I mean, that's down around the knees where you get your ground balls. And the other thing too about Suarez, I mean, he's a big guy, 6'4", about 240. He is quick out of the stretch. He is going to give Buster Posey a chance to throw out Segura if he decides to try and steal. And he will keep him close. Should he get a ground ball, he may have a chance to get a double play.
High and foul, and that is out of play off the first base side. 1-2 the count. Goldschmidt has not been retired today. He had an infield hit in the 1st inning. He hit a double down the left field line in the 4th and scored a run later. And he walked in the 5th. Hitting .301 for the year, and better than that with runners in scoring position. Ooh. Still 1-2. That's not quite where he wanted that one. With a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
He got his elbow below his shoulder, and he had some push in there. That was just a flat-out hanger he got away with. Watch Buster Posey with the arm. Hey, get your elbow up.
So Buster doing a little coaching out there.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see that one.
1-2 pitch. Fastball struck him out.
He got Goldschmidt to go out of the strike zone on the fastball at 93. Set the wide target. That glove's not even behind the plate. A huge strikeout, and that's going to be it for Suarez.
So now Osich with 2 down, 2 men on, is being brought in to face the dangerous left-handed batting Jake Lamb. 4-2 Giants here in the 7th, and we'll be right back. Night from San Diego at 7:30 on NBC Bay Area and the Giants television network. And then next Saturday night, a week from tonight, at 6 o'clock on CSN Bay Area. Giants pregame live starting at 5:30. This will be our next telecasts of Giants baseball.
New pitcher now for the Giants, Josh Osich. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. The numbers for Osich in 42 games.
And he throws a called strike, and quickly with that 96-mile-an-hour heater. It's ahead of Jake Lamb.
It's high velocity with a two-seam grip. It's the grip he prefers. And he'll get velocity and movement with that grip. He's also got a slider and a changeup.
Lamb, who's having a great year in the first half, but against lefties hitting only .200. Runners at first and third. Crawford gets to it. Inning over. Somewhere in the vicinity of Crawford. Make him hit it there. He should be in good shape. Dwayne Kuiper, who's on assignment. I'm John Miller, along with Mike Krukow, and the Giants out in front 4-2 as Angel Pagan leads off here in the last of the 7th against Zach Curtis, who came in to get the final 2 outs in the 6th inning. Pagan has had 2 hits and has scored a run today. In the right field, Tomas. And Pagan is promptly retired. And the left-handed hitting Brandon Belt will come up.
Sergio Romo starting to get heated up in the Giants pen.
Belt knocked in the first run of the day in the 3rd inning. With 2 down and nobody on, Pagan hit a single, then stole second, and then Belt walloped a triple into the gap in right center to get him home. He takes low for a ball. He, on either side of that triple, has struck out, so he's 1 for 3 all told. Buster Posey is on deck. Enrique Burgos, a right-hander, is warming up in the Arizona bullpen. D-backs have a string of right-handed hitters up in their 8th inning. Inside, that spun him around.
A breaking ball that kind of squirted out of his hand. I'm thinking about Zach Curtis at 5'9". He's got a compact motion, and it's one of the beauties of his delivery. It's very repeatable. You don't see him come out of his motion very often, but he did there with a flying front shoulder.
3-0. Curtis is the only left-hander in the Arizona bullpen right now. He started the year in A ball. That's a called strike. 3-1. So this is a very young guy who made a meteoric rise through the farm system all this year. He was just drafted in 2014. 5 feet 9 inches tall. Base hit. Just kind of punched it that way. Nobody was covering third base to begin with. So a base hit for Belt is second. Here's our Geico quote. We saw Romo warming up in the bullpen. Bruce Bochy on Romo's performance last night. It was big. I think for him as much as anybody. Hopefully let him know that he's fine. He's back. He's bad, and I like it. New pitcher coming in. Burgos, the right-hander, will be brought in to face Buster Posey. The Giants leading 4-2, and we'll be right back. The D-backs and the new pitcher Enrique Burgos. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Numbers for Burgos, ERA 6.10. He's had some problems with his command. He's a hard thrower. See mid-90s fastball, and he warmed up with just a curveball. He didn't show a slider. He's got one. know if we'll see it today, but fastball, curveball, slider is what we've got on him.
Strike one to Buster on the outside.
96-mile-an-hour fastball, four-seamer, pretty straight.
6 feet 4 inches tall, listed at 250 pounds, from Panama City, Panama. Double play ball. They get one. And Segura back to first to double up Buster Posey, who is 0 for 3 with a walk in this game. On to the 8th inning now. Tomas coming up. 4-2 Giants.
The Togo's way, and last night it came with the glove of Bernard Span. Catch off the ball, off the bat of Ricky Weeks, took away extra bags, at least a double, maybe more. It was a second out in the 9th inning. The Giants would go on to win that ball game. Bernard Span's catch is our Togo's big play. The Togo's way.
Bernard Span, who back in there today, made a nice catch earlier in this game. New pitcher for the Giants. Sergio Romo has come on. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
Sergio Romo coming in. The 7th time he's come in this year. A great outing last night. Struck out the side after the leadoff single.
Tomas leads off against him. 0-1.
It's almost like Tomas is going to swing at the first pitch no matter where. You could throw a two-hopper or even drop the rosin bag. He's going to swing at it.
Be worth a try just to throw all those different things to see if that's true. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tomas knocked in the first Arizona run against Jake Peavy back in the 4th inning with a single to center. He's 1 for 3 in the game. He's also grounded out and lined out to. He just smoked one against Cantos in the 5th inning, but a liner right to left fielder Pagan. High in the air. Crawford shading the eyes with the glove. Got it.
It's a great tip for kids. I mean, sunglasses are great, but you also have to use your glove as just a shade protector. And for Crawford, he puts the glove up, shades his face, and never takes the glove down. And in the end, puts it right in the sweet spot.
1 away, and Brandon Drury. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Giants, 2 runs, 7 hits for Arizona. And that's a strike to Drury, who has singled home a run. That was also in the 4th inning against Peavy, the 2nd Arizona run. They have not scored since.
Defensive runs saved most by MLB shortstops. Well, Brandon Crawford saved 18, and nobody's close to him.
1-1. Arizona had a brief lead in the 4th inning with their 2-run rally, 2-1. Right to Belt. Hit hard, but right to him. 2 down. Now let's go to Amy G.
All right, gentlemen. Well, after tomorrow night's game, not 3 Giants, but 4 Giants are going to be heading to the All-Star game, courtesy of the San Francisco Giants fan base and the power of the vote. Brandon Belt joining Johnny Cueto, Madison Bumgarner, and Buster Posey at the All-Star game this year. He won the final vote. What did he have to say about it? Well, he said he was actually overwhelmed. It was hard to put into words how he felt. He was so impressed. He got a ton of texts, guys, from fans who said their fingers were about to fall off and their thumbs were numb because they texted so many times. He found out in his car after lunch with his wife Haley because Madison Bumgarner's wife texted them the news. He's so excited and he's really looking forward to the opportunity to play with the best in the game. Good luck to them all, guys.
Indeed. Thanks, Amy. And it is, by all accounts, an amazing experience, especially for those who've never been to one. Ball is bounced foul. This is Wellington Castillo pinch hitting for Tuffy Gozawish with 2 down and nobody on. Gozawish gone, and Castillo, the regular D-backs catcher, he's hit 10 home runs, and nearly half of them have been hit against the Giants this year. 2 down, nobody on. One and 2. Castillo against Romo. Has had a single in 3 at-bats, and Romo struck him out the other 2 times. Castillo with the pitcher's spot due up next, and Herman is out on deck. Barrett up in the bullpen. Got a piece of that one, but there's Pagan. 3 up, 3 down, and Romo did that on 10 pitches. Crawford coming up.
Game is brought to you by Honda, with the Giants trailing 2-1 in the 4th inning. 1 out, 1 on. Grant Green stepped up against Robbie Ray and does this. Hits his first home run as a Giant, a 2-run shot. It gave the Giants a lead, and they have held on to it. He is our player of the game, brought to you by Honda. Grant Green, now a spectator on the Giants bench, had the big swing of the bat.
Green, who's hitting an even 300 for the Giants. He's only been here for 8 games, but he has definitely made an impact again today. He's knocked in 5 runs. Burgos, Brandon Crawford at the plate, ball 1. Now Catching is Wellington Castillo after he pinch hit for Tuffy Gozowich in the first half of this inning. Crawford has struck out, singled, and scored a run and flied out deep to left. There is Gosselin, and one away. Now McDonald's true stories. On this date, 1967, at Candlestick Park, Mike McCormick, on his way to a Cy Young Award, pitched a 10-inning shutout against the Dodgers. Claude Osteen also pitched into the 10th inning, but gave up a 2-out, bases-loaded single to
Willie Mays.
24, Willie Mays. That knocked in Tito Fuentes. Game over. The Giants won it 1-0. McCormick ended up winning 22 games that year and did something that Juan Marichal, the Hall of Famer, never did. He won the Cy Young Award.
Oh, and he started out the year in the bullpen.
There's a strike to Gregor Blanco, and Santiago Casilla getting ready in the bullpen for the Giants for the 9th. Mark Gardner right alongside the bullpen coach. That's a foul. 1967, that's the year the Cardinals ended up winning the pennant with a first baseman by the name of Orlando Cepeda, who won the MVP award that year in the National League. And they went to ended up being a great World Series with the Boston Red Sox, the impossible dream Red Sox, who went from 9th place to the American League pennant that year. And that series went 7 games. Bob Gibson won Game 7 on 2 days rest, but he did not win the Cy Young Award that year. Mike McCormick. And that's too high.
Well, I grew up in Southern California in Alhambra, and that's where Mike McCormick was from. And all the parks that I ever played in as a kid, you'd get there and they'd say, see that tree over there? Which was like way down the right field line, fairgrounds. Nobody had fences in. Mike McCormick hit one there.
On the run is Bourne, and he catches up to it. Hit well by Blanco.
It was kind of the West Coast version of George Washington slept here. Wherever I went in Alhambra, I mean, Mike McCormick did this, he did that. He's a great athlete.
I remember Mike McCormick, who came west with the Giants in 1958. He initially came up to the big leagues when the Giants were still in New York. In their final year at the Polo Grounds, he was there for the final game they ever played as the Giants at the Polo Grounds as their home. And he was a very young guy. Pena, that's a called strike. But he worked a couple of games with us. Maybe 1997. I don't know where you went. Where were you?
On assignment.
Well, that's right. Mike got sent out on assignment, and Mike McCormick worked a couple of games with us. Good guy. 1 ball, 1 strike. If I recall, when he came back and he won the Cy Young Award in '67, he had been cut loose by the Giants, or traded, and went somewhere else, and the Giants got him back. And he had his best year. Ramiro Pena. And that's a foul out of play. Pena popped up to short as a pinch hitter back in the 6th inning. 41,571, the 453rd consecutive sellout crowd here at AT&T Park. Big crowd taking advantage of a fabulous San Francisco day. Sunshine in the city. 2-0, nobody on. 4-2 Giants. And that's a high pop-up. Shading the eyes with the glove is Segura. And he's got it just barely. The Giants go down in order against Burgos. And now Casilla for the 9th inning. 4-2 Giants. We'll be back. D-backs 2 as we head into the 9th inning, and Santiago Casilla, Giants closer, comes in looking for his 21st save.
37th game he's been in, 1-2 with a 2.94 ERA. And look at the strikeouts, 44 and 33 2/3. He's had great stuff all year. Low to mid 90s, more mids than lows with the fastball. 2 types of movement: curveball, slider, changeup. Go get him.
Chris Herman, the pinch hitter for the pitcher Burgos, and he takes ball 1. Herman hitting .293, .355 on base average. He got 6 home runs. Only had 140 official at bats. 1-1. Fastball to the outside. Crawford, the shortstop, plays him almost right up the middle. Herman has done well. They've tried to increase his playing time. He's played some outfield. And that curveball did not work.
That did not work. And that was so far off to the right. You take a little reassessment of your release point on that one when you miss that badly, especially on a breaking ball.
2 balls and 1 strike to count now. Herman has not had a pinch hit this year. He's 0 for 12 as well as he's done. No pinch hits. That was off the end of the bat into the crowd. 2-2. Dodgers game tonight will start in about 15 minutes against the Padres. And now a full count, 3-2. Gosselin, a right-handed hitter on deck, and then Segura, another righty, after him. There's Gosselin, who will be next. Giants have really run through the bullpen today. Casilla is the 7th pitcher used in this one.
Posey put down a fastball 3 times, and each time Casilla shook off. He finally put down a slider middle in. He shook that off, and now Posey's going, we need to talk about this. Posey's going to say, listen, you got a 2-run lead here. The last thing we can do is walk this guy. We need to make him swing the bat. So whatever pitch you could throw for a strike, you can throw it. And I don't think Posey's too excited about calling a curveball based on the one that he missed by about 4 feet up and away. So this is a big pitch. 2-run lead here, and you don't want to walk that first guy. Got to make him swing the bat.
And Brandon Belt. He swung the bat, and he is out.
That's the thing you have to remind yourself. I mean, if you make the guy swing the bat, he's going to fail 7 out of 10 times. And that's what you have to count on. And you really believe that, especially when you have a run to play with a 2-run lead.
So Buster sort of explained his point of view on it. And ultimately, it sounds like Casilla said, you're right, let's go with that one.
Let's go with a fastball, and they get the out.
93 mile an hour, a little 2-seam action on it. And that is ball 1 to Gosselin, who is up with nobody on, 1 out. He walked as a pinch hitter in this, I beg your pardon, he came in as part of a double switch in the 6th inning with Randall Delgado, and then walked in his first plate appearance in the 7th. On the run, Span. And no, not this time. That was so similar to the one that he actually caught last night. And a little bit different today because that fierce sun, and it looked like it bothered him a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he put his head down around the spot. He looked back up and looked at the reflection in the glasses. I don't know how much that ball he saw, if any, but it just last night. I mean, if this is a nighttime fly ball, I think he makes this play. I just don't think he has great sight on it. And the way his glove was, where it was, and where the ball was, I think it backs that up.
So Gosselin gets his 7th double of the year. Here is Segura, and he's the possible tying run. Segura has struck out, grounded out, singled, and been safe on an error by Ramiro Pena. Officially 1 for 4. Strike on the outside at the knees.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, in regards to distraction, you shouldn't be paying a whole lot of attention to the runner at second. With a 2-run lead, your concentration is to Segura. Be deliberate, be balanced, be in control when you start your motion home. Don't let that runner mess with you a bit.
1-1 the count. Dug out of the dirt by Posey. A new ball will be put in play. Bourne is on deck, and after Bourne, that's when you get to the big power hitters.
Right now, Casilla really doesn't have a great feel of his breaking stuff.
Here's Bourne in the hole with Bourne on deck, and that's Goldschmidt in the hole. Back to the screen.
That cutter's his best bet as far as a breaking ball. I mean, that was perfect. With the slider and the curveball, ideally, the curveball's been the strikeout pitch for him for 6 weeks. It doesn't matter if you're right-hander or left-hander. It's been a good see-you-later pitch. But he has not snapped one off today that would give me a belief that he's got confidence in it.
One ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, runner at second. Ramiro Pena, 2 down.
So he stays with the fastball, 2-seams it, gets the ground ball.
Gosselin over to third base. So now Michael Bourne, and for the D-backs to get their great slugger, Paul Goldschmidt, all-star, to the plate, Bourne is going to have to reach base. So that is what Casilla will be intent on keeping from happening. Get Bourne, game over. The third baseman, Tejada, in on the grass. Bourne, very speedy, good bunter. And that's into left field. Pagan. And the Giants make it 2 in a row over the D-backs here at AT&T Park. Goldschmidt left on deck, and the Giants bullpen with a sterling performance. 4 2/3 scoreless innings out of the bullpen here today, and a save for Casilla.
Well, the bullpen really looked like a rusted pin. Remember back in the week, they had a day off, and they had a complete game from Johnny Cueto. And tonight they stood tall. They made that lead that they got in the 5th inning stand through 9, and that's a big win.
Giants win it 4-2. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned. Esurance Giants post-game live with interviews, and the wrap will start in just a few moments. The Giants over the D-backs once again.